Our first regional really grew out of a desire to support Burning Man in a time of crisis. And in that capacity, suddenly people around the world were saying, hey, how do you do this? And can we do a gathering? And how can we meet other burners? The thing I love to see is that you can recognize the essential character of something and know that this too is Burning Man, but there can be differences because of the environment or local traditions. And so it's a matter of appreciating the differences, but also seeing that, wow, this can live anywhere in the world and does. When you call something a regional burn or a decompression, or you invoke the name of a burner community, it really should mean something and stand for the principles and ethos that we all share, ranging from self-expression to communal effort to civic responsibility and leave no trace and all of the wonderful things that are manifest in our culture. I love the Circle of Regional Effigies. For me, it's a perfect metaphor for a broad-based community that is coming together, a circle around the original effigy, the children, if you will, the offshoots, but they're equally important, not lesser. And for me, it's a physical manifestation of the dialogue that we are having with the default world and the world of the community as we know it here in Black Rock City. The thing I love about it is that people working together off playa, bringing it here, and I know the next step is they go back and they know how to work together off playa to create large-scale art in their cities. So in some way this year, the theme of Fertility 2.0 is especially important in light of the Circle of Regional Effigies, because to me that's a very, very concrete manifestation of what the proliferation of our culture and community has become.
Last year we had 23 core projects in the circle, and this year we've grown the program and the project to include 34 effigies from around the world. I would say that this year we have much more international involvement. We have core projects coming from as far as South Africa, Lithuania, the United Kingdom. We have a project from Sweden and Denmark. And I think that this year, because last year was so successful and really showed other folks a proof of concept and that they could make these projects happen and could rally the community support, it gave other groups the motivation and the desire to also carry the project forward.
Okay, my name is Craig. This is the South Africa Core, and we are representing, in fact, the entire region. There's a lot of our crew who are, in fact, Zimbabwean, which is where I'm originally from. We are now mostly living in South Africa or connected to South Africa. And what we presented this year is an African fertility doll in the belly design, which is from our region. What we found, which has been so amazing, has been the collaboration from not just people within our own community, but people have reached out to us from Reno and from California and from all over the world to offer help. And that's been one of the most amazing things. So we've come the furthest out of everyone from the playa. 4 days ago, nothing existed at all, and our team and lots of people behind us, particularly the Reno crew, have stepped up and helped us to bring this to the playa. The hardest thing was trying to plan everything ahead and not being able to build the entire effigy in a warehouse, at home, whatever, in its entirety, and be able to see it and dial it in exactly how we wanted it. And that's all we could do, was put a lot of intellectual horsepower into it, plan and have contingencies in as many ways as we could, and get out here, and the playa has provided the rest. But what I found the most fascinating about this project has been how the community has supported non-traditional artists to become artists. So I'm not an artist, but I've become one in doing this and have used skills that one doesn't have a chance to use in your default life, and it's been brought out of us. I think it's been spectacular. I think what this has represented for us is almost a fast track into how to do art on the playa. The support from the core team and archery and all the people around them, directed around core, has allowed us to get a really good foothold into the entire system. Our aim is to now try and pass on the skills and the tools and the things that have been involved and the connections to the next crews, and we want to hand over and we want to be involved, and next year there should be more crews out here doing art on the playa. And if we're lucky and things pan out, maybe some crews will come to South Africa and to AfrikaBurn and put effigies and artwork up there, and then we're talking fertility 3.0. So AfrikaBurn is in fact the largest regional in the world, and that has to be related to the fact that it's the furthest away from the playa, because for everyone else it's possible to get here. They limited it this year to 5,000. They could have gone more than that, and that's significant. They've seen incredible growth, and it's been an amazing journey. 5 or 6 burns, but almost doubling year on year, and it's been phenomenal, and it's amazing to see what they've been able to achieve.
Well, we've been fortunate enough to be part of a group of community artists going to AfrikaBurn, which gives us a great platform to kind of do this image on a large scale.
I'm John Quigley. I'm an aerial artist. I do large-scale human sculptures that are photographed from the sky, and we're here in Africa, in Cape Town, on our way to AfrikaBurn to create the image of the emerging face of Ubuntu, the African concept of community. And as I understand it, it's I am because we are. We exist within the context of community.
It's inspired by our newfound freedom, in South Africa, our newfound democracy, in particular Nelson Mandela, and the sort of values that he wanted us to aspire towards as a nation, and this inherent gift that we have within us, which is Ubuntu. The whole of Africa has this potential, and yet somehow we're not getting it out there to the rest of the world, and especially toward each other.
Ubuntu comes from a very advanced consciousness, a very advanced society. And I believe that it is Africa's gift to give to the world at a time when values are diminishing in society.
When people from different backgrounds, from different cultures come together to create, then there's a sort of magical process that occurs where with that common goal, the differences fade away, and the sort of unity of purpose allows us to see our connectivity.
AfrikaBurn is about creative freedom and the ultimate expression of ourselves.
What I'm really excited here is just for the African spirit, and also that it's probably more similar to the early days of Burning Man, where there are less people, and I think I'm looking forward to that intimacy.
AfrikaBurn, it's just worked so harmoniously and with such synchronicity, and it's so the right platform because it's not political. It is about us. It is about our expression, and we really see this going quite far. I want to see a world where there is brotherhood, oneness, humanity. I have a daughter. I feel we've been left this legacy, this beautiful legacy, and it's up to us to keep the dream alive, and for future generations, to create a better environment, a more sustainable environment. We first need to acknowledge one another. I guess we need to see the world as our family and operate with a sense of belongingness in the world.
Embrace one another, embrace yourself.
Because we are artists getting ourselves prepared for what we are about to do. And that's to have one hell of a good time at AfrikaBurn. Sahala. Yeah.
Again, this year's theme with the Fertility 2.0 is fitting because we're at a new stage of this cross-pollination that is happening around the world. A lot of the communications used to flow directly through us. Now the regionals are speaking directly to one another. And if you think of a map of the world with little lights blinking on and off in different parts of the world, the entire world is blinking on and off, and those little dots are communicating with one another as a neural network would, without the need of this central brain anymore, because it's gotten so healthy, so robust, and you just kind of can't stop the inspiration from flowing in all directions. I think if Burning Man disappeared today, that it would crop up in another part of the world by members of our community that know how to do it.